Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Since it's the holidays, we will be making coffee cake. And coffee cake is one of the most delicious cakes that you can make at home. What you will be needing are flour, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, salt, butter, sugar, and in place of sugar, I'll be using brown sugar. And that's your preference, whichever you would want to use, sugar or brown sugar. And we'll be needing buttermilk. And it's your preference if you want pecans, walnuts, almonds, or cashews, any type of other nuts. But for this video, we will be using pecan and walnuts. Okay, so first thing we need is flour. Okay, we need about 2 cups of flour. So I'll be using this measuring cup, 1 cup. And 2 cups. Okay, there goes 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Next, we'll need baking soda. And we will be using this baking soda right over here. Okay, there goes 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Next, we need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So we'll be using this ground cinnamon. Okay, there goes 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Next, we need salt. So here's salt. This time we will need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Next, we will need to get butter, and we will need about 2/3 cups of butter. So we'll be using unsalted butter. Okay, so we're going to be using unsalted butter. So we will be measuring 2/3, which is right over, where'd it go? Here. 2/3 of butter. So we'll be needing about this much, and we will have to warm it up in the microwave. So we just put that into the cup. Okay, so actually we're gonna put it in this cup because we're gonna have to put it in the microwave to warm it up, and then we're gonna put it into this cup. Okay, as you can see, half of the butter wasn't enough, so we need another half of the butter. Okay, we have another half of the unsalted butter. Okay, now let's pour this in to make it 2/3. So it takes about 1 whole stick of unsalted butter and just 1/3 of butter. So basically 1 whole stick and 1/3 of the butter. Okay, so let's mix all the ingredients that we have so far. And then we'll be pouring in the butter that we have melted. And it takes about like a minute to melt the butter into the microwave. So we're just gonna pour this butter that we have melted. And we're gonna be whisking it. Now we need sugar. 1 cup of sugar, but in this case, I'll be using brown sugar. So we placed 1 cup of brown sugar as well as half cup of brown sugar. And then we're just going to mix it. So for this recipe, we will be needing 2 eggs. There goes the egg. We'll be using this spatula over here. So we need to make that creamy look. Okay, next we'll add another egg. And we'll be beating it again. Best advice would be to use this spoon right here. You can also mix everything up in a mixer and have the machine do itself, but in this video I'll be doing it by hand. Okay, you can see how thick it became. It's totally up to you if you want to use the mixer. Next, we will be needing buttermilk and the nuts that we're going to be using. This is totally up to you if you want to use almonds, cashews, walnuts, or pecans, or any other nuts that you can think of. So I have bought this right over here, walnuts, and they're just into pieces. So we'll just open that, and we'll be needing 1 cup of buttermilk as well. So while we're adding these ingredients, the nuts right over here, walnuts and pecans, will be at the same time we're pouring the nuts, we'll be also pouring in the buttermilk at the same time. Okay, you can use how much nuts you want to use. It's not really like a requirement how much nuts you can use. So you can use as much as you would like. And this is the buttermilk we'll be using. Right here. It's a low-fat buttermilk. It's totally up to you what kind of buttermilk you would like to use. Okay, we need 1 cup of buttermilk. About there. So we'll be adding at the same time, we're going to be adding buttermilk and nuts. Okay, let's go ahead and mix it up. it makes it easier to mix it when you're adding the nuts and at the same time you're pouring the buttermilk. So that's why it's suggested to add buttermilk and the nuts at the same time. See, it makes the job more easier. So it won't be as thick and hard. See, it's like creamy now. So just go ahead and add some more walnuts. And at the same time, some buttermilk. Then mix it well. Add some more. We'll use this whole packet. I think it's enough. Okay, next we'll be using pecans. So as you can see here, these are the pecans I'll be using. They're into chopped pieces into this bowl. And for these pecans, we'll be using half because I'm going to leave some for the topping. It's the topping we're going to be sprinkling on top of the coffee cake. So this is the pecans, some buttermilk, some more pecans. I think that's about it. We'll just be using half of it, and then half we'll just keep it for the topping. That's later on. This is the entire buttermilk that we finished. Now we're going to spread this batter that we have made into this pan. So let me just get these things cleared here. Okay, if you would like, you would also want to use oil. So I'll be using this cooking spray olive oil. It's whichever your preference that it is. So okay, there goes the cooking spray. So that it won't stick. You can see the texture. It's very creamy with all the nuts. Okay, next, it's time now to put it into the pan. Let's just pour it down. now let's go ahead and spread it so it can be equal, the batter. Or you can also use the spatula to spread it. And to make sure it's equal, though, so it doesn't look uneven. Okay, it looks even to me now. So here we're going to prepare the topping for this coffee cake. And what we will need is 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Okay, so now we have 1/2 cup of brown sugar that we will be putting into this bowl. And now we're going to use the leftover nuts that I have mentioned before. Remember I mentioned to you that we used 1/2 of the pecans. So we'll be pouring in all the leftover remaining pecans into the bowl. I guess we can use a little bit more, about 1/2 more. Yeah, I think that's enough. 1 bag of pecans. So again, we'll be using this ground cinnamon. You can 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So we just mix it. So in here we have the brown sugar, the nuts, and cinnamon. That's all it is for the topping. And you don't have to really use 1 whole packet of pecans. You can use as much as you would like. So you just make sure that whatever you use, you make sure that it's equivalent to the cinnamon that you're using and brown sugar. Okay, this is 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So we'll just be adding this as additional 1/4 cup. It all depends on how much nuts you will use. You can smell the aroma of the brown sugar, cinnamon, and the nuts. And then next, what we're going to do is going to spread this topping on top of the batter. And then we're almost done. So here's the coffee cake, the batter. Okay, here goes the batter. And now we'll be drizzling the topping that we made on top of the batter. I'm just trying to cover each place so that it's covered up to give that crunch taste. So now we're going to put it in the oven. This is how it looks. It's the best coffee cake that you can make at home. Okay, we're going to be baking this in 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. until it's done. So now we have waited for 5 minutes for the preheat, and now we're gonna put it in the oven in 350 degrees. And we're going to wait for about 45 minutes or so until it's done. And here it is now. After 45 minutes of baking, this is how the coffee cake looks like, and it's very delicious. And I hope you like this recipe. Comment down below of what you think about this recipe and let me know. I hope you enjoy this recipe and you should try it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice day.